is up, Kyle?
Hi.
We got a new recording episode thing here for you guys today. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I'm so tired. Yeah. We are reviewing A New Hope for Star Wars month. First up, we have our usual perfect attendee, Mr. Jason Bailey.
Yes, we're finally back with cinematic analysis. We haven't recorded for like almost a month, but
Yeah. Oh.
but we have our reasons. And a quick message from Lucas. He says, "Hello everyone, it's Lucas here. He just wants to say good luck to us here, and he wants to announce that he'll make his return soon after graduation. He appreciates all of us, and to have a great episode and happy Star Wars month."
Okay.
So yeah, we're doing Star Wars finally.
Next up, we have our modernized Sith Lord, I guess, who is also in Veil of Maya, making a little brief return, but not really, is my homie, my buddy, my brother in Christ, amen, Julian. Are you gonna
It's
fucking
Julian.
say something or just move your goddamn eyebrows?
I like eyebrows. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm good. So, hey everyone, I'm back for one night only. I'm still on my teensy little break, but I found out you guys didn't have a lot of people here, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just join for one night. just to be nice.
And
But,
finally,
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Julian.
Yeah.
Go.
And it's been a while since I've been on cinematic analysis, and I hope to God I don't have a mental breakdown where I have to leave in the middle of the fucking episode. That's why Jason is recording this episode, just so that doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
yes,
Less editing for me.
yeah.
And finally, we have a very special guest.
Yay.
Don't you?
Yay.
Big old excitement for the very first time.
Oh
A good homie, Poppy. Another homie Baba Booey. Another homie that really loves Star Wars. We have the one, the only, the myth, the legend, Toast Malone.
Fuck.
Hey guys,
Hello.
Hi.
I appreciate the applause.
Oh, man.
You're
I feel
welcome.
very welcomed.
You're welcome.
That's the worst album.
Yeah.
It's a solid
Alright.
golf clap.
All right. So how this works for people that don't know, especially for Toast because he's new here. Obviously we did our intros. So now, either Jason or Julian will read off the plot, and then I will go through my notes. I will stop every so often. If you want to add something in, you can just say it instead of raising your hand because there's actually not a lot of people here.
Okay.
But yeah, there's 4 parts in total throughout the film, and then at the end we will give a thumbs up, thumbs down if you recommend it, and then we'll give our overall rating and then do outros.
Yes.
Yes.
Who is reading
Very
off the
nice.
plot? Also, I have a special guest.
We all do.
My son. His name is
What?
Yeah, we all have a guest here.
We all have my son.
Alright, he's taking over the episode tonight.
Okay. So I have to hold him up every so often, but I would also grab my Funko Pop, but I don't feel like getting up. So.
That was me this morning.
All right.
Whoa!
Yeah.
The plot of Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah. A New Hope.
I don't like that.
That was aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Okay. I'm already losing brain cells. I kind of regret doing this now. Star Wars: A New Hope. I can't read. Imperial forces under orders from. Don't fucking copy me, Jason. Or under orders from the cruel Darth Vader, hold Princess Leia hostage in their efforts to quell the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, Captain of the Millennium Falcon, work together with the companionable droid duo R2-D2 and C-3PO to rescue the beautiful princess, help the Rebel Alliance, and restore freedom and justice to the galaxy. And there you go.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, they, them, non-binary folks. We start off.
Like Thomas Sanders.
Oh.
That's how his intros are.
I will wreck you. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far. R2-D2 and C-3PO are the first to appear on the screen. We see they're on a ship trying to escape. We see a bunch of, I guess they're the rebels.
Yeah.
You could say. Are, preparing to fight whoever is invading their ship. I can't fucking read my notes, apparently. Jesus Christ. So the ship is being invaded by none other than Darth Vader and his fucking bitches. I mean the stormtroopers. Anyways. Then we see, continuing on, fighting, blah, blah, blah. R2 is now with Leia and getting information from her.
Information.
C-3PO starts looking for him, and he starts freaking out. Finally finds him. Then we cut to Vader looking for the Death Star plans that were sent over, and the stormtroopers find Leia. She gets stunned and she's captured. C-3PO and R2 escape in the pod, and they land on Tatooine. They split up because fucking C-3PO is a goddamn bitch who doesn't fucking listen to R2-D2. What?
Does he ever?
He doesn't listen to anybody. He don't give a
Beep,
fuck.
beep, beep.
No.
Beep.
So C-3PO thinks he's been saved, but it's actually the Jawas looking for scraps and screaming "Tutini!" like every 5 fucking seconds. That's what they do. And then we see that R2 gets captured by the Jawas, and they bring him into the little thing that he's in, and he finds C-3PO. So then they meet up again, and then we see, we see the fucking stormtroopers on Tatooine on the little thingies that they ride. To the CGI in that they did for the, I don't want to say it's the remake, but dear God, it's worse than the prequels CGI.
For real, dude.
It's so bad.
You know what the CGI makes me go? It makes me do this.
What did you say before
that was bad.
about the CGI, Toast?
I said I can agree. It is not very good.
It's really bad. I would prefer the original. Oh my God. Julian is on some type of mode. Is it X Games? We'll never know. But yeah, so we see that the CGI is worse than the prequel CGI. And then we see all the droids that the Jawas have. They're lined up and they're ready to sell them. And we finally meet Luke. And dear God, every time I watch these fucking movies, I can't help but think of how similar Mark Hamill and Sebastian Stan look. It's really terrifying.
Yeah, they do.
Like if they really did like a spin-off of some sort with like young Luke, they really should cast Sebastian Stan. It would be a phenomenal fucking casting decision.
Yeah.
This is a fact.
Yes.
I'm losing my mind.
C-3PO gets sold to Uncle Ben and Luke, and they end up picking a different droid that is not R2. But somehow something happens to the other R2 unit, and R2-D2 is relieved that he can finally go with C-3PO and Luke. And he's working on the droids, and he starts talking about his life, and he feels very stuck. With having to live with his uncle and his aunt, and just wanting to get off of Tatooine and do his own thing and be a pilot. Which is kind of what Anakin did, but obviously he was younger. But he wanted to get off the planet. He wanted to be a pilot. He wanted to do all these things. So while Luke is working on R2, he finds Leia's message, only the first part of it. And then the thing that's really weird is that they didn't wipe R2's memory, but they wiped C-3PO's memory.
Yeah,
so when they mention Obi-Wan, C-3PO does not remember Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Only R2 remembers Obi-Wan.
Right.
That was something that I found like really weird when it came to Revenge of the Sith. Oh my god. So Toast, I think you can actually talk about this since you went here and have done this, I believe.
Oh.
Then we get to the scene where they're all sitting down having food and drinking a specific drink. That drink is called blue milk. Toast.
Blue milk?
You want to talk
yeah.
about your experience with blue milk?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
First of all, Disney ain't doing it right. I went to Galaxy's Edge, and I was going to get that blue milk, but the thing is, it didn't really taste like milk. It tasted like ice, like an icy. They kind of lie. Yeah, it was still good, though. Like, they gotta, I don't know. I guess, like, if they had milk out in the Florida heat all day, that wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah,
I feel like
guess
it would
so.
spoil really quick, so they gotta have, I mean, there's probably milk in it, but it is very tasty. That is no lie, but it's definitely not the milk I was expecting.
I definitely want to try it still. I found like so many different recipes on like how to make it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. This all seems fucking weird. But yeah, to continue on, Luke starts talking about Obi-Wan and Ben Kenobi. And Uncle Ben is talking about them, and as he's talking about him, he's kind of like, oh, he like died around the same time as your father, and blah blah blah, and like Luke starts to get invested because it has to do with his father, and he doesn't really know anything about him. But as he's like asking questions, his uncle literally just like fucking shuts him down. Immediately shuts him down. So then he just gets up, leaves, and you can tell that he's scared he'll turn out like his dad and turn to the dark side. But like he should still know about his dad, because yeah, I can't really talk about it because we're not talking about those other movies.
What movies?
The other originals.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I think my favorite scene has to be in the beginning, where Luke walks out of the house and he's looking at the sunset. That's still such like a very cinematic moment in
that's
movie
like an iconic
history.
scene.
Yeah. It's still one of my favorite fucking scenes from that movie. So as he's, looking at the sunset, he goes back to the droids and sees that R2 has dipped. He said, I'm out of this bitch. I'm looking for Obi-Wan.
Fuck, I'm out.
So C-3PO starts to freak out because he left.
Wow.
And thinks that he's going to fucking die, basically. So C-3PO wants to go looking for R2, but Luke's like, the Tusken Raiders are gonna fucking murder us if we go out now, so we're not gonna go. We're gonna go in the morning. So they go in the morning, and the Tusken Raiders literally attack them. And then Ben Kenobi shows up and saves the day.
What a hero.
Of course.
Sir Alec Guinness.
Yes.
Gwyneth.
We just see him
I
walk
really
over
think
there.
that the casting choice with Ewan McGregor after was really like done well. I'm really glad that they went with Ewan McGregor for that, because it just
Your boy toy.
they both just fit so well to the character. Like, they both have the same mannerisms, and I really
They
love
really
that.
do.
What?
They really do, yeah.
Yeah. So, the floor is now open. To add anything, talk about anything. Jason.
So we pretty much get introduced to like Luke Skywalker,
He's
Ben Kenobi, and the droids C-3PO and R2-D2. Yeah, I mentioned that when Luke was looking at the sunset, that's pretty much an iconic scene.
Yes.
And then I like the part when Ben Kenobi pretty much saved the day from Luke and C-3PO getting attacked by the Tusken Raiders. That was great.
Julian.
And yeah, I enjoyed the beginning part.
Go ahead, Julian.
Oh, okay. You talk too much. All right. So, for me, I really enjoyed like this first. This is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies, and it's just like I just find it so fucking hilarious every time when that first fucking droid just breaks down, and it's like, oh, R2 has a chance. I'm like, oh, great. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck happened to the other dude.
Yeah, I could have sworn in, like, the original, not the CGI version that we know, the R2, like, poked him with his little stick that shocks people.
Oh, that's right. I think that was
I
how.
could have sworn that was in, like, the first one. Not the one that we have on Disney Plus, but the CGI one.
The CGI one, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was shocking.
R2's funny.
Because I know that they edited a lot of stuff from the original, like the Han Solo and Greedo scene, which we will get into that conversation. I feel like that's a very well-known conversation for amongst Star Wars fans on who you think shot first. That will be brought
Star
up.
Wars.
Oh, yeah, just look at the fucking Star Wars Reddit.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Toast, do you want to add anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I would like to say that I think a lot of people don't talk about the intro scene to the movie as much as they should, especially because we indulge in the prequels a lot. So we kind of just know what comes before Darth Vader's intro scene in A New Hope. But, let's just all agree about how Darth Vader's intro in that movie, and that was how everyone at that time were introduced to the character, how fucking iconic that scene is when he walks in and he chokes that rebel and he looks like a freaking badass.
Yeah.
That's probably I probably have like 5 favorite scenes in A New Hope, and that was one of them. And then also mine is the two-sun sunset with Luke on Tatooine. That's also one of my favorite scenes. The world building in that movie is fantastic.
I do think that, and I don't like this movie, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The only good thing that came from Rogue One was all of Darth Vader's stuff. That's it.
I completely agree.
I didn't like anything else with it.
I forgot Rogue One existed. I forgot Rogue One existed.
I never even seen it.
It's not worth it now.
I mean,
there's some.
It's a good connection.
Yeah. I mean, the CGI is also not great.
Then again, Maddie,
when it comes to Leia,
have the Star Wars movies like really had there are certain movies that did have good CGI, but a lot of it was just meh.
I mean, even the TV shows, like they literally fucking hired somebody that fixed the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian.
Exactly.
And brought him on for the 3rd season. Or no, for Book of Boba.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, for the third season, even though it was the Book of Boba. Haven't even seen the 3rd season yet. But yeah, so I mean, the CGI in that was just meh. But again, Darth Vader going ham, egg, and cheese on everyone in Rogue One, and then following it up to that, like it just fits really well. So yeah, if that's all of that, I'm gonna go to the second part of the film.
Yes.
Okay. So then we see that they all start talking. Obi-Wan does not remember R2 at all. But R2 obviously remembers Obi-Wan. because he gets all excited and he does a little beep bop boop boop and so
Oh yeah.
wiggle and whatnot.
That
Just
was
wiggle, wiggle.
that was great.
Yeah.
R2 don't jiggle, jiggle.
R2 is my
Pistols.
favorite droid in Star Wars.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Jeez.
wiggle.
So they start talking about Luke's father because they go with Obi-Wan to where he's currently living. And they start talking about his father, and Obi-Wan gives him his lightsaber, and every time I see that scene, I can't help but think of the meme where Luke is just putting the lightsaber through his head. I love that meme
I like that
so
one.
fucking much. It's so funny.
Oh, I got that.
It's so good. So Obi-Wan tells Luke a different story about what happened to his father. Like it's like a twist on it, and it's like you could just tell him the truth, But oh well.
Can we just get a moment of silence for the amount of PTSD Obi-Wan went through in that one conversation? Like, that must have been really bad.
Yeah. Obi-Wan finds Leia's message, of course, and asks for Luke's help, but he can't because he feels stuck. Yup, that's the one. I still have that picture on my phone too. It's so funny.
It's amazing.
It's the best meme from that movie.
Movie over.
But yeah, so he can't because he feels stuck because of his family, and then they go to check on the Jawas, and they see that their ship has been ruined, destroyed, and it clicks for Luke that they figured out who bought the droids and that it was his uncle. So he goes back to his place and sees that they are burnt to a crisp. And then Luke decides that he's going to go, and then we cut back to Vader and everyone, and there's some people within the meeting room that are kind of making sense, and Vader does not like that very much. So he literally chokes the guy. That is making the most sense, and then we cut back to what?
Nothing.
Okay. And then we cut back to Luke after he finds out that his family's literally murdered. Again, he decides to go with them, and they figure out a plan. Then we cut back to Vader. He thinks that Leia is a rebel, and he's not falling for her shit, even if she keeps telling him I'm not a rebel. He just doesn't believe it.
Right.
So then Luke and Obi-Wan go into town, and they're looking for help. And Obi-Wan, this is probably my second favorite scene in the movie. Obi-Wan does the Jedi mind trick. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah.
I fucking love that scene so
The
much. It's
mind
so
trick,
funny.
I remember that.
Yeah, so
The one
funny.
was
scene that
great.
inspired so many other Jedi mind trick scenes.
Yep.
These are not the droids you're looking
Like-
for.
It's like for me, I'll go up to people I like. I do not look like this.
Even I wear makeup.
I
Do
do
not
not
look like this.
Me when I exist. Okay. So
Jeez.
depression jokes, whackity schmackity do.
So Obi-Wan, they go to the bar, and Obi-Wan starts talking with Chewie, and the droids are not allowed into the bar, so they're like, all right, whatever,
In the bar.
kick him out. And then Luke just sits at the bar, and these two guys just start being massive assholes. And he's like,
I
he
think I know where
doesn't
you're
like
going
you very much. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. And then he goes, I don't like you very much. He said, okay.
Oh, that scene. Oh,
And
man.
then fucking he starts to push Luke around.
For
And
no
then
reason.
fucking Obi-Wan comes out of nowhere and basically foreshadows what's gonna happen to Luke.
Obi-Wan's a
He's
hero.
like,
I'm chopping off slice.
I'm
They
gonna
are
slice your
but
hand
they're
off.
all assholes.
so
Which is honestly kind of funny.
it literally
be real.
foreshadowed what happened to Luke, and I find that really fucking hilarious. And then we finally meet Han Solo,
That's right.
And
Hey.
fun fact, if you don't know, which I feel like a lot of us here do know, Harrison Ford did not want to be in Star Wars past that movie.
He hated that movie.
He was like, I don't want this. I don't want this at all. And spoiler alert, he fucking dies.
Yeah, he got what he wished.
He's no longer in
Yeah,
the franchise.
he wanted to get his character killed. Spoiler alert, by the way.
He wanted him gone.
How many movies did he do again afterwards?
He did.
He was in like two.
Two after
He was in
that.
4 other movies.
Yeah.
After A New Hope, I mean.
Yeah.
So he was in New Hope. He was in Empire Strikes. Was he in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
He
course.
was, yeah.
Back, and then what was the one after that?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
The Jedi.
Then he
Force
was in The Force Awakens, and then he was in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
As like a spiritual appearance, I guess.
Yeah, Force
Yeah,
Ghost.
Yeah, but still Harrison.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I find it really funny that he didn't want to be back in the franchise, but he came
to the
back
franchise.
every fucking time to the franchise.
Because they pay that good money, that Disney
The
money.
moolah.
Well, he wanted.
But
Here's
Disney
the thing
was
with the Force Awakens. So yeah, the other movies he did get paid a lot of money to come back, but he wanted apparently yes he wanted to come back as long as he can get his character killed off. That's the only reason why he did the Force Awakens, and he knew how much the character meant to a lot of the fans. And people can say whatever they want about Harrison Ford. He genuinely does care about his fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
Me too.
Me too.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So Luke does not like Han, and we can already tell that Han does not like Luke from first meeting.
It's the most awkward meeting.
Yeah. So they set up a deal, this, that, and the other, and then Greedo shows up. They're having a conversation, quote unquote. I personally think that Han shot first.
I definitely agree.
I saw that when I
What about you,
watched it
Toast?
again.
I don't actually know, because the movie's been changed so many times. So, first it was Greedo, then it was Han.
I think it's always been Han.
I think it's always been like a lot. Yeah.
They just changed the way that Greedo got shot because it was more graphic in the first one.
Yeah, and then in the second one he says McClunky, and then he gets shot.
Yeah. Like, you can even see that Greedo misses his fucking shot. So even if he did shoot first, he wouldn't have gotten Han because he went past his head.
Yeah, but the question is always who shot first.
It was definitely Han.
100%.
It's crazy that they've changed it so many times.
Yeah.
So, they've changed up the scene to fuck with fans a little bit. It's a lot of it's kind of funny.
Yep.
And they're
so,
a Disney product.
There's that iconic scene, of course. Again, like I said, even if he didn't shoot first, Greedo missed terribly. And then we see that they're going to the Millennium Falcon, and Jabba, looking rough as fuck in his CGI, is looking for Han for his money. And Jesus Christ, it's CGI for him. It was bad.
It was awful. The CGI
was
bad.
pretty bad.
I just wish that they would have kept it and just left it alone, because I don't even think they did that for the other two movies.
They
if I'm not
didn't.
mistaken.
They never did. It was only for this one.
In the original cut of A New Hope, was that scene in that movie, or was it somebody else in the place of Jabba before they added the CGI in the remake? Was there something there?
Yeah, there was
scene?
someone there.
Yeah, there was.
Because that would have been Boba Fett's first
person.
scene.
Yeah, Boba was still in there, which was going to be my next thing brought up, was that's the first time we see Boba Fett. And they kept the camera on him for I'd say a good amount of time, because if you're watching it for the first time and you're like, ooh, who's this guy? I feel like it's left on enough for you to be like, oh, who's that? But yeah, so they get to the ship, and as they're all at the Millennium Falcon, the stormtroopers start to attack. Miss their shots, of course, because they're fucking stormtroopers and don't know how to fucking aim.
And the Millennium Falcon already took off anyways.
It reminds me of that one scene from Family Guy where it's like, oh yeah, good, like all the gang is running away, like, good thing bad guys are such terrible shots, and the guy with the fucking the rifle has the gun behind him, he's shooting, and the guy with the
Oh my
pistol
god.
shooting in different directions. Like, man, these guys are elusive. Just straight up.
All right. The floor is open. That is the conclusion of the second part of the film. Floor is open. Who would like to go? Jason.
So I like the part where the stormtroopers missed their shots when the Millennium Falcon already took off.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that was a failed attempt, and it was really funny.
It's literally
And then
fucking ship.
And then we got introduced to Han Solo, and I think he shot first. So you know what? Those are my favorite scenes.
Who'd like to go next?
Hell, you haven't talked much, so you go.
Toast.
My favorite scene in this section is the Cantina Scene, because the amount of prosthetic, effects they use in that scene is insane. And like Steven Spielberg threw a little ET reference in there with a few ET aliens in the background, and you could look at and see, like, it's just crazy the world building that happens in that one little room. Even though you don't really learn too much, you get to see it, and then that gets expanded upon multiple different TV shows, cartoons, movies, and books.
Yep.
So it's just crazy that it all starts. It all starts on Tatooine, and it starts in that freaking cantina with all those crazy aliens. And it's just, it's just crazy, It's such a good movie. It's just so good.
Speaking of Cantina Band.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yes. It's a dance time.
Time to dance.
Okay. By the way.
Okay, no more dancing.
Hello, TikTok.
Yeah, by the way, that was a band called Galactic Empire. That's a real band, and they're fucking awesome. So, but yeah, for me, God, that was probably one of the most iconic scenes just in the Star Wars franchise, just how Luke and Han met. And what's crazy, it's just like they hated each other. They never fucking liked each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy to me because every movie they've been in together, they've always teamed up. Usually, I don't remember, but it's crazy that they met on negative terms, and that's probably one of my favorite things. And yeah, Han obviously fucking shot the gun first because it's fucking Han, and he always starts shit. I've seen Solo; he starts 90% of the shit that happens, even though Solo's not historically accurate, but. Which is why we're not watching that movie next. But, it's a good movie. It's a good scene.
Good movie filmed.
Okay, Evan. All right. Now we move on to the third portion.
Yes. Of the movie.
So, they finally take Leia out of her cell. And they basically threaten her to give away the rebel base location, or else they're going to blow up her home. Because if you remember from Revenge of the Sith, she's adopted, and the person that adopts her lives on Alderaan. So they're literally going to blow up her home. And Leia names the system, but they still blow it up anyways. And as they're all in the Millennium Falcon, Obi-Wan is training Luke with the Force. And he literally, he literally senses millions of voices just crying out for help and then being silenced. And then Luke goes back to training, and that little ball that you see is the same little ball that comes up in Book of Boba when he's training this little guy right here. My son, Grogu. And I find that he kept that, and I thought that was really cool. So then they find out that Leia lied about where the rebel location was, and order her to her death. And then we see that they're all at the space station, and they're like, that's a moon, and they're like, that's not a moon, and so they try to back out, but then they get stuck in the tractor beam, and they try to search the ship, and they're like, there's no life forms. Obviously they're hiding, and so they go back on the ship, and then they trick stormtroopers into going on the Millennium Falcon. They knock them out, they get their uniforms, and then they get into the station. Obi-Wan splits up from them because obviously he's trying to look for Vader. He knows he's there. He's trying to fucking find him. And they find Leia with convincing from Luke, because Han Solo was like, I'm not doing this, and he convinced him with more money because that's all fucking Han Solo cares about. So they pretend to lock up Chewie, to get to Leia, and it works, except they fucking shoot everyone in the process. They get Leia out, and the most iconic line from that scene, aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? Huh? Oh, the uniform.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Vader can sense that Obi-Wan is there. And they find out that Leia is out of her cell. So now they're trying to get to her and trying to get to everyone else to fucking kill Leia and then kill everyone else. And Leia, the badass that she is, shoots a garbage chute, and they go into that.
They slide down.
And there's something in there with them, and it grabs Luke and pulls him under. And so they start freaking out. Han saves him, and then the walls start closing in and start to crush them. And Luke is trying to get a hold of C-3PO, but he turned his comms off, and he finally turns them on and turns the garbage chute, whatever, off. And they start freaking out because it stopped, and fucking C-3PO goes, oh my god, they're dying. As they're just cheering with
Poor
joy,
C-3PO.
like a fucking dingus that he is.
Oh my god, they're dying!
Oh no!
So then Leia, again the badass that she is, takes charge of the whole thing because obviously the plan did not go well. They almost died many a times. Han and Chewie distract the stormtroopers, and Obi-Wan and Vader meet again for the first time in years. And they fight, of course. And every time I watch these movies, I can't help but think about, and I think the prequels had the same types of lightsabers too. Watching the behind the scenes of the original trilogy, they had like the sticks of color, like the colored sticks, and it wasn't like actually lit, so it was just like this tiny, thin little fucking stick they were just hitting each other with. And every time I watch those, I can't help but think about them. They're so funny. So they make it to the ship, finally, and they see Obi-Wan die. And Luke starts freaking the fuck out. He starts shooting everybody and this, that, and the other. But then we realize that Obi-Wan is just a Force ghost now. And with that, That is the final portion of the third portion of the film. Yeah, who wants to go first? Julian, you go first. Because it's been Jason every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, those fucking stormtrooper dumbasses. Seriously. How
They're
the
funny.
fuck? They miss every fucking shot. Why? Even in the newer films, they miss every fucking time.
So here's the thing that's weird about that though, is you would think that since they're like all genetically modified and actual clones within the original trilogy, by the time the sequels come around,
Think
they're
they
just
get
random
better.
people. So you would think that the clones would be better,
Exactly. Like,
but they're not. They're worse.
You think time would get better, but my God, they become stupider and stupider. Seriously, no wonder Finn left from being a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
He saved himself the trouble of having the stereotype of being a stormtrooper.
Literally, oh my gosh, like he is a good shot, Matt. His shot is just gets like taken away anytime he puts that stormtrooper outfit on.
Also, I just want to say justice for fucking John Boyega. Thank you very much. That is all I have to say about the sequels.
Seriously, fuck those people. They really fucked his character up.
Not even just that, they just fucked him over.
Yeah, he was
Pretty
supposed to play, like his role. He did play an important role, but not the way it should have gone.
Yeah, because everyone thought he was going to be the main character, not Rey.
Yeah, which I didn't mind Rey being like one of the main characters, but like let fucking Finn be one of the main characters as well, and don't focus on.
They really downplayed him.
Don't fucking focus on Kylo Ren. He fucking sucks. All right.
They should let them both be main characters. That's what should have happened.
It should have happened. Yeah.
They're both very
You
great.
know what? We can't have nice things. So.
No,
Apparently
we
to fucking
can't.
Disney.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
fuck
Disney.
Yeah, well, Disney's been fucking themselves over for years, so it's not like anything's gonna fucking change. But when it comes to Star Wars, at least.
Yeah, when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to Marvel, they've done a little better with that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at what they did with No Way Home.
Yeah, and with the new Doctor Strange as well. So.
Yep, that's true.
Exactly. They're going a lot more like riskier now because
Moon Knight.
I haven't finished Moon Knight.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
And probably never will. Okay, but
I
yeah,
will.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, the Stormtroopers, man, it's fucking hilarious, but yeah, it's just God, that scene when they were almost getting crushed by the fucking wall. I was scared. It was like, oh God, they're gonna fucking die, but of course they
fucking did.
What?
They'll find a way to get rescued.
Oh my fucking God, they fucking did.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine that would have been like, oh, what the fuck's gonna happen now?
It's a series just ends forever.
And crush. Dun, 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 dun.
Dos, do you have anything you want to add?
I just gotta give another shout out to the amazing effects of this movie. You know, the production team, it just did such a fantastic job with what they could, with what they had at the time. And just the fact that a lot of the scenes that they have in space of the ships flying are all miniatures, the explosions are all real. On top of that, all those scenes of a spaceship docking into the Death Star, like all those shots of them docking with the those are all paintings that were made by artists for backgrounds. Like, that's just insane. They were steps ahead of the game.
Yeah, this movie has
And it's just so good.
really aged well.
Yeah, like they really were like ahead of the time, like with that.
Minus some of the CGI, but that's just because it was fucking touched up.
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking the original.
CGI was added like years later.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we're just talking about the original.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That one was
the original
ahead of its time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it did so much for these types of movies.
Jason, if you want to add anything, brother.
Well, my favorite scenes will have to be when they say Princess Leia, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And when Leia asks, "Aren't you sure to be a stormtrooper?" That was pretty funny. Then, huh? No.
Huh?
No. It's the uniform. Alright,
No.
and I think my other one will have to be when Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker met after like a few years. And they started fighting.
Don't know it's Anakin yet.
Yeah.
You're ruining the illusion.
You're spoiling it! Just
Brrr.
three people on fucking Reddit.
Well,
You motherfucker.
and yeah, that's all of my favorite scenes.
It's been out since the 70s, but fuck you for spoiling it. Oh, just kidding. Alright,
Yeah, cool.
now we move on to the final portion of the film.
Thank God.
Han and Luke head to the back of the Millennium Falcon and start to fight off the TIE fighters, while Leia is on the front with Chewie, trying to steer the ship and fight off other shit. And Leia just knows that they're being tracked. And Han doesn't want to believe it. And they make it to Leia's base, Rebel base, and they all get in a room and come up with a plan to destroy the station. And while they're doing that, Vader and everyone else is planning to destroy the planet with the Rebel base on it. And Luke finally gets to fly in a battle, and he's fucking stoked. He is excited as shit. He's like, I might die, but at least I get to fucking fly.
Exactly.
Sweet.
He's pushing himself.
So they finally head out and, you know, start flying around and shit. A lot of people are dead. A lot of them are dead. Big old dead.
All my friends are dead.
So Vader's like, fuck this shit, and he gets involved. He's in one of the TIE fighters, and he starts fucking shooting at him. And as they're trying to destroy the base, or the station, they're using like these little computers to get a better target, I guess. And Luke starts to hear Obi-Wan and as a Force ghost, and he's like, fuck that, and uses the Force and makes the shot. And then Han comes back last minute to help because he was like, fuck this, I'm not helping, I'm just here for the money and blah, 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 blah. But he does come last minute. The Rebels obviously win. R2 gets absolutely fucking wrecked in this fucking battle. He gets destroyed. So he gets pulled out of Luke's ship, and fucking C-3PO starts freaking the hell out. And so now R2 has to be prepared. And then at the very end, Luke, Han, and Chewie get medals. And I think my favorite thing that came from that scene is people coming up with the fact that fucking Luke Skywalker was wearing Chanel boots to the fucking ceremony. Only Luke.
I thought Chewbacca didn't get a medal. I thought it was because wasn't the whole thing. Oh wait, I can't talk about that because it's a spoiler. Technically, are you guys gonna watch the sequels?
No, we're not doing the sequels.
Oh, so I could say something about the sequels.
Yeah, you can say something about the sequels.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the whole thing in The Rise of Skywalker with Chewie getting Han's medal was also because he never got a medal, and people had criticized that about the movie. Someone didn't get a medal.
I think it was Chewie. I think it was he got it off screen. But that, I think, was what people were mostly annoyed about, was that he got one off screen and not on screen with everyone. Which I kind of agree. He should have also got one on screen.
He was a real one in that whole fight.
Yeah.
No. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
You know what doesn't make sense to me? In The Force Awakens, Han Solo gets killed. Chewbacca loses his fucking mind. And
Hardly so.
But in the last movie, when Princess Leia dies as well, he gets even more emotional. Like, you barely knew Leia.
No, he knew Leia.
Well, not as much as he knew Han.
Well, yeah, but he still knew
yeah.
Leia, considering they were, together. They had a child.
Yeah. Han and Leia were.
Yeah, and it's also
were,
been
were,
like
were
it's also
dating.
been like 30 years or so. So like I mean, yeah, I see what you mean, Julian.
I've realized that.
I think he just cared for both of them a lot,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, he's like a
And I
close
feel
friend
like
to both
Princess
of them.
Leia died more peacefully than Han Solo did.
I actually liked the way that they ended with her, considering she had actually died.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like the only thing I could give the sequels credit to is how they handled her death.
Yeah, and that wasn't even with like new scenes that she shot. Those were
Yeah.
scenes that like were from the last movie. That's why for a majority of the movie she was like just not in the shot or something,
Yeah.
or her face wasn't in the shot because it wasn't even her. Maybe there was some CGI, but most of the scenes were like deleted scenes from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That they reused for this movie. So, I mean, credit to them. It was the best send off they could have done.
Right.
They could have really
Considering the
botched
circumstances, yeah.
it. They could have really botched it. But it was good. But yeah.
All right. So, we will give thumbs up, thumbs down. 3,
All right.
2, 1.
A thumbs up.
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, how about a double?
I gave it
How
that.
about a Grogu hand?
Yes.
A
Grogu.
All right.
Grogu hand.
So, I will go around, call on your name. You'll give your final rating.
Okay.
We'll start with Julian.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna give Star Wars A New Hope. I'm gonna give it a 9. A 9.
Okay.
I liked a good portion of the movie, and there were some parts that were meh to me. The only thing that really pissed me off was the fucking CGI.
Mhm.
That was a really big thing that pissed me off. That's why it gets the 9 out of 10. But other than that, I enjoyed it.
Jason.
Jason.
How about a 9.5? I'm going to go up a little bit.
All right.
Because I pretty much enjoyed the movie, but a few parts were not really the best.
Mhm.
But I did not focus on the CGI, really. I pretty much just watched it.
As
Yeah.
you should,
And Toast.
I guess.
If we're talking about the original version of the movie, I'd give it a solid 9. CGI, it's tough because like the CGI I feel like could have been better, but at the same time, like realistically, if I asked like someone who I know personally who's never seen Star Wars before to watch the original Star Wars movie with no CGI in it, I feel like a lot of those people wouldn't get enjoyment out of it because they can't relate it to like a more sci-fi movie they've seen nowadays with CGI.
Mhm.
So I feel like the CGI does kind of branch for people that, and it's going to sound kind of weird, but have low attention spans. Personally,
That's
I
true.
love Star Wars, but I've been watching the original trilogy since I was a little kid, so it's different for me. I grew up with it. But like for people that are going to start watching it today, I feel like the CGI version grounds it to more recent stuff, and it looks different, But honestly, I would give A New Hope overall, CGI, no CGI, I would give it a solid 9. Because there are some things I would change about it in terms of like plot, but for what it did for fucking movies overall,
Yeah.
you can't. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that movie. It's too original, and that's all I gotta say about that. It's fantastic.
So for me, if we're talking CGI, I'll give it an 8. If we're talking just the original, no CGI, a 10. And the reason I'm giving it a 10 is because that was my childhood. I remember it very vividly, watching it all the time. And I mean, like Toast said, it did a lot for other movies in the future. Like the fact that they used paintings and most people didn't even notice. Like using what they could at the time and how they did it, and they did it really, really well. I think the movie really aged well, so I think I'll just go based off of the original and give it a 10,
The OG
personally.
emoji.
Epic 10.
Yes, epic 10 out of 10. All right,
10.
and now we will do outros, starting with Jason, so that
Well,
Toast can get a feel of what the fuck we're doing.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
Well, we thank you all for watching this episode of Cinematic Analysis, where we finally got to review a Star Wars movie, where we start out with A New Hope, which was a great movie. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. You can subscribe to here and, of course, our other 2 podcasts. And yeah, I think Maddie will announce what will be the next movie.
I will go
Okay.
last.
I'll leave that on to you.
Right, Julian, you're next.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Cinematic Analysis. Thank you guys so much for having me back. I really do appreciate it. I'm not back full time. I'm still on a break. I just joined tonight just to help out my buds. Because, either no one wanted to show up, or people didn't watch the movie, or people were just busy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, again, that's their shit. But
Yeah.
you can find me on Instagram at heavymetaljoker_music. I have new videos coming out soon, and I guess you can follow me on TikTok if you want. I'm not posting on there for a long fucking time. Go subscribe to my buddy Kevin, the Core Progression Podcast, and go follow his Instagram, even though I won't be on his live streams for a little while. And go follow me on the Moshcast, which I also won't be on there for a little while. So just go support my buds. That's all I got to say.
And Toast.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me, guys, for the cinematic analysis of A New Hope. This was quite an epic experience getting to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. And I thank you for letting me hang out.
Yes,
You're welcome for the next one, too.
Anytime you want.
Ooh,
Other movies, whatever.
Maybe for the
I'll
next
have
one.
to.
If we're talking about Empire at some point,
Maybe
Yeah,
we
I might
could
need to talk
probably
about it.
do that for random month.
ooh, yeah.
Because our next one, drum roll please. Oh wait, where can they find you, Toast?
Oh,
Twitch.tv/Blood on Toast.
There you go.
Blood on the
There you
toast.
go. Shout out to Twitch because I need
Go
more
watch
people to
the
watch
stream.
Well,
those
not
video
shout out to
games.
Twitch at this given moment, but we won't talk about that. Anyways,
Which, yeah.
yeah.
I'll tell you about it as soon as we're done with this. As soon as
Alright.
we're done recording. So yeah, drum roll please. Our next film we will be reviewing for Star Wars month is Attack of the Clones. My fucking favorite of all time. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm so glad that we finally got to fucking do this. We were like 2 hours sitting here waiting for people to join. So thank you to Julian and to Toast for making your first appearance. And hanging out with us and just chatting Star Wars. It's fun as hell.
Star Wars.
Fuck yeah,
You
brother.
can find me on Instagram at Bill Mertooth, TikTok at Bill Mertooth, and Twitch at Bill Mertooth. And you can also find me at the Moshcast.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe occasionally on Crash and Burn.
Yeah, I did make an appearance on Crash and Burn. There will probably be more in the future. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye!
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, we will see you for Attack the Clones. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.